Hey? Stop covering up all this child molesting. Jehovah's Witnesses are paying out millions in the courts for having allowed little children to be molested. Jehovah's Witness elders, when a little child comes to them saying they've been molested, Jehovah's Witnesses must stop covering up child molesting. Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mr. Derek O'Hare, thank you for joining us.
Pleased to meet you. Pleased to talk to you.
You know, Derek, you have caused a bit of some controversy in the last several months or so, and we're going to get to all that. Obviously, you're here, I'm here because we're former Jehovah's Witnesses, we are cult survivors, and we're doing what we can do to try to raise awareness, try to inoculate the public, maybe wake up some asleep Jehovah's Witnesses, rattle some elders' cages even, to try to see if that will shake them up. And Derek, I think there's probably a lot of people that are interested in knowing more about you. Maybe all they've seen is you on a megaphone or you getting arrested or something. And there's a lot more to you than that. You are a family man. You are a nice guy. You have a backstory. And maybe you could share with us, you made it pretty far with the Witnesses, right? You were a ministerial servant, you were a pioneer, and then kind of what happened from there?
Well, I stumbled into the trough about 1979, maybe 1980. I was going through a bad patch in my life. I was at the time I was in a bed sit. I was separated from my then partner and child, and Jehovah's Witnesses called on me. I listened to them, got back with my partner, got married, got married because it was the right thing to do, although she weren't baptized. And then that marriage finished. 5 years later, I made a ministerial servant. I was made a ministerial servant, remarried, had another 2 children, started hearing whispers of things going wrong, paedophiles coming into the congregation, being allowed on congregation bus, like journeys to conventions without people knowing. And it was all very disturbing. And then gradually more and more came out about paedophiles to an extent that I started kicking up about it. And the fella was related to the presiding overseer. So he was getting away with it. He'd molested one girl. He'd molested a second girl. I told this fella how I felt about it. He was always Humpty Dumpty with me. There was always this, thing, because I knew what he was done. I knew he was getting away with it. And it all came to an head one day in the Kingdom Hall when I answered up at the watchtower and he jumped up and grabbed the mics and tried to and attack me, in front of all these people.
Oh, right. So during a meeting, he tried to pick a fight with you.
During the watchtower study, and all the elders went to his defence, saying that it wasn't his fault. It was my comment. He hadn't done it. They were prepared to go to court with him to say that he had done nothing wrong and it was all my fault. When I reported it to the police, then they quickly wanted to disfellowship me. By that time, I'm recording it. I felt as if I had been hypnotized for 30 years, and I'd come out of this, trance, and now I'm back in my mind. I'm angry and I'm annoyed that, all my friends are being taken advantage of. I've been taken advantage of, finding out that there was a money-making organisation, finding out that there's all kinds of child molesting being covered up, and then I eventually, one day, I said, right, that's it, and I got up, I went down to the local congregation and I started protesting.
All you elders who have written detailed accounts of little children being molested, been in the same room and gone and told other elders about it, given it to the branch committee. Yeah, all these confidential details of little children being raped by fellow Jehovah's Witnesses. Hey, you elders are going to be held account like they are in Australia, having passed around child pornography. You're going to be on the sex offenders list. Yeah, and we're going to publicise the sex offenders list. Yeah, you bet your life we're going to publicise it. You elders are going to be on it. Yeah, ruining little children's lives is funny, isn't it, Greg? Passed about intimate details of little children being molested. Don't you know that's pornography and you're going to answer for it? Hey, you, on the sex offenders list. Yeah, sex offenders list. For having passed around intimate details of little children being molested. Yeah. Passed about pornography. It's all going on in Australia. It's Australia first, then it's England. Because it seems we're run by a bunch of people who cover up child molesting. They say they're going to protect whistleblowers, but they're not. But we're going to shame them into standing up for little children, if we have to. Yeah. We're fed up with it, all this covering up of child molesting.
Jw Fairy Tale, Mike and Kim, of course. And as I'm watching this, I'm wanting to go out and to expose them for their wickedness.
Right. Listening, they say that it didn't happen. And they let the child molester go on to another congregation. All we ask is that you protect the little children like Jesus would. Please imitate Jesus. Please imitate Jesus and take care of the little children. Please imitate Jesus. Don't let them keep getting molested by these elders and servants.
And also, what did they disfellowship you for, and how did that happen? Just those two things.
Yeah, right. Why they disfellowship me, I didn't know exactly why. It was for slander. I had said that the presiding overseer had covered up child molesting, and that the old body of elders had gone along with it. Now, I recorded all these meetings. I said that the presiding overseer covered over child molesting. He'd covered it up because it was his son-in-law. But I didn't say the old body of elders went along with it. They put that bit in, And then when they took me for the judicial, and I appealed against it, the appeal said that it, because I managed to show them with the help of brothers and sisters were helping me, and even elders were helping me in my defence, and they hadn't gone through the proper procedures of slander, and they hadn't done the proper protocol, so they changed it, and they did me for brazen conduct because I'd said the elders were wicked liars, and because I stuck to that, they disfellowshipped me for brazen conduct.
So you started protesting. You started showing up at Kingdom Hall, standing up near the front of the auditorium.
We ask that you phone the police. Have you not been watching the Australian Royal Commission?
And you're standing there?
Brother Jackson's up before the court next week. Yeah, Brother Jackson of the governing body. He's in Australia visiting his father. Yeah, the Royal Commission are going to drag him before the court.
I mean, how did you feel when you first did that? I mean, were you really nervous, or did it get easier? Because you've done it, dozens of times now.
But when I went to the assembly hall, me and Leon got together, and we knew there was about between 600 and 800 people meeting at the Surrey Assembly Hall, and I said, we got bail conditions by this time.
Through the terrible ordeal, how many times was she touched? Where was she touched? How did she feel when she was touched? So as to determine the degree of sin. I spoke to you, mate. Why?
Because the witnesses were making up stories, and they were getting so many complaints about us that I'd I'd been arrested and had bail conditions. I weren't to go within so close to a Kingdom Hall. I weren't to enter Kingdom Hall, not within Kent. I weren't to, you know, I had loads of restrictions. So the Assembly Hall was outside Kent. It was in Surrey, another state. So we was able to do it. And I know it seems scary, and sometimes people think I sound very aggressive, but it's the only way I know of getting, you know, I get their attention, and you know, and you know.
I've got to say this: the first couple times that I saw you go into the front of a Kingdom Hall and do that, and now with some more of your recent ones, even just standing outside and engaging these folks, it made my heart pound, and I got nervous because I think, you know, I could probably do that if I really got my nerve up, but I don't want that kind of stress right now. I'd rather just do what I'm doing right now, because let's let Derek and Leon do this, because they've got the the big balls to do it, because I just don't right now. So.
Why don't we stop all this covering up of child molesting? The two-witness rule is wicked. Why do Jehovah's Witnesses keep covering up child molesting? We're fed up with it. You keep disfellowshipping poor young people and ruining their lives. Why are you doing it? You stop covering all this child molesting. You're wicked. On the BBC next Thursday, there's a Radio 4 on the BBC. On the BBC, there's a radio programme exposing the scandal of child molesting amongst Jehovah's Witnesses. Stop!
Can you please leave? Please leave, brother.
Well, I thought you were imitating Jesus, aren't you?
We are.
Aren't you supposed to look after little children? Why do you allow elders to sit children down in front of the guys who have persecuted them and molested them? Hey? You go through it with them, where they were touched, how they were touched, how many times were they touched, so as to determine the degree of sin. They sit the poor children of Jehovah's Witnesses down, and right next to a guy who's molested her. How's that right? How's that imitating Jesus? How many people did Jesus? How many people did Jesus disfellowship? Hey? How many young lives did Jesus ruin? Stopping them talking to mummy and daddy, nanny and auntie. It's wicked. You've had enough of all this covering up of child molesting. Change the two-witness rule. Change it. It's wicked. Jehovah's Witnesses building your New World headquarters are being poisoned, because they bought a chemical dump. People are being laid off in Warwick. Yeah, they're being laid off. Young pioneers and volunteers are risking their long-term health.
I'm fascinated by what you're doing.
Oh, why is the line always so long for the restroom at these assemblies? I knew I should have just peed in the cooler of that brother that saved all his seats. What? Why is there a sister in line for the men's bathroom? Excuse me, sister?
Hey, hermano, who you calling sister? Do I look like a sister?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, brother. It's just with your long hair and your skirt. Is this the line for the restroom?
No, it's a line to meet a Stephen Ladd.
Oh, God, look, it's Jesus! Hey, I look good in green.
Jehovah's Witnesses regularly cover up child molesting.
What? Derek O'Hare?
I came in like a rainbow. I never been so hard in love. All I wanted was to break you
And all these
up.
poor little children dying because of and being told that all their friends at school are going to be murdered. Please, Heavenly Father, hear their little prayers when they shut their little eyes at night, and pray for all those friends they got at school who are going to be murdered by Jehovah. Amen.